You are now listening to Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now in Odyssey Station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
West Georgia's go-to show for all things sports.
From the best interviews in college radio.
Hey, this is Coach Joel Taylor, head football coach here at the University of West Georgia.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Bacon, Atlantic Sun Conference Commissioner.
To the hottest takes around.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack.
The Wolves play here.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to an extra spooky Thursday edition of Sports Pack. I'm your host for this evening, Pope Reed the First, father of all sports, joined today by Keyshawn Ward. We're keeping his costume ambiguous.
No costume.
No, it's a costume. We're just leaving it up to the imagination.
Got you.
What you see is what you get. We also got Grandpa Schrader in the cut.
Hello.
And Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning.
Where your khakis at, bro?
Budget cuts, man. It moved on for me. It's been rough.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? Sweats. But yeah, we got a loaded show. We're in a bit of a Halloween spirit today, obviously, because Halloween is tomorrow. If you want to see a real deal Wolf Sports Network's Halloween special, tune into the Playbook tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they'll also be dressed up with a few spooky segments. But today we got a traditional episode of Sports Back coming at you, as always, starting off with some West Georgia sports. They're going to get into this underrated Grandpa Schrader college football weekend.
Always.
Got NFL coming up as well. Going to talk about this World Series because it has been, every single game has been a fun watch. And then round it out with our Thursday night football predictions. Like I said, jam-packed show as always, and never enough time to get into all of it. Let's go ahead and jump into it now after these quick messages. Being a broke college student is hard, and that is why finding deals on meals is a huge win. At UWG_Dine_West on Instagram has daily, weekly specials and updates for the dining halls, Chick-fil-A, and Starbucks. That is at UWG_Dine_West on Instagram for all updates you could ever need.
College students who binge drank alcohol at least 3 times per week were roughly 6 times more likely to perform poorly on a test or project as a result of drinking. Wolf Sports Network's and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is always here to remind students drinking should be done responsibly and in an environment that discourages overindulging. Faculty won't take hangovers as excuses.
Thank you, Pawpaw.
You're welcome.
Because of Westwood's Apartments, Wolf Sports Network can continue the success and experiential learning we need for our careers. Did you know that at Westwood's Apartments, all utilities are included in the rent? Flat rate pricing and costs are located at livewestwoods.com.
As Widener rolls to the right, he's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it, and it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
Cut down, old timer. Now, we typically get started with West Georgia football, but we're currently on a bye week before next week's game against the University of North Alabama. But I do want to make brief mention of our football team because all of our goals are still right in front of us. Mm-hmm. Last weekend's game against Central Arkansas made us a 6-3 football team, which means we're officially guaranteed to end the season over 500 because we only have two wins left. And Coach Taylor's goal, you guys, going into this season was to double our win total from last year, which will be winning 8 games this season, and we have 2 more games to achieve that goal. John, do you think it's possible?
I think it's absolutely possible. Even if it's, you win 7 games, you win 8 games, I think it's amazing. You've already made the improvement from last season, and once you've done that, it's been absolutely fantastic to do that for the year. It also helps with recruiting. It's just great for the foreseeable future, and honestly, I think we can finish 8-3. I don't really see how 2-6 North Al and then Utah Tech, which I don't even know how they have a football team because apparently they lose a lot of money traveling. So, but I think we could easily go 8-3.
I mean, yeah, I 100% agree. I think this win against Central Arkansas showed that even when you have a questionable performance, but you can still pull out a win like that in front of the home crowd, it gives the guys a lot of juice. And if they just keep their foot on the gas pedal, we 100% could go 8-3.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I mean, they bounced back last week from a 3-game losing streak. So, I mean, at this point, they're back on track. They're still keeping the main goal try to make a playoff push, try to, end the season out strong, and only 2 games left. I mean, I don't see nobody losing.
Like you said, John, we have 2-8 North Alabama waiting for us.
2-8.
Yeah, they're currently
That's
sitting at
sad.
2-8, very down from last year. And then 1-7 Utah Tech at the end of the year. It's kind of funny because these two teams are squaring off against one another this weekend. North Alabama is going on the road to take on the Utah Tech Trailblazers, two of the worst teams in our conference, getting warmed up to get stomped out by the Wolves. You love to see it. Now, looking forward, we also have even though our Wolves are not in action this weekend, we have other teams going at it. Starting off with our volleyball team, as we've alluded to throughout this week, have a very, very spooky matchup against the Stetson University Hatters tomorrow night at 6 p.m. from the Coliseum. John, I want to start with you again.
Yeah.
What do our girls need to do to get back in the win column and end this embarrassing losing streak?
It's been rough. It's been absolutely rough to be 2-21. I mean, you've taken 2 steps back from last season, and that was only 9 wins. I just think you got to go out there and just try to finish and play strong, play with some passion. I don't know what goes on in that locker room. You got to change something to maybe get one more win on the season, but I don't. There's nothing much I can say for us to get a win. It's just very hard for us to come by right now.
I mean, I feel like this team hasn't won since I was in middle school. Really, all they got to do is win more sets than the other team. You just got to keep it as simple as that. Just win it. Just win a game.
You tell them, Grandpa.
You're welcome.
2-21 is crazy, though. I didn't think we were that bad.
It's been a rough year. I think it's also.
You want to see 22?
If you want to potentially see 22, be sure to come out to our volleyball game tomorrow night at 6 p.m. There will be a costume contest and a special guest being the PA announcer for this matchup.
Are they going to fly in the Pope or something?
Huh?
Are they going to fly the Pope in or something?
There is a chance.
Ooh.
The Pope might be in the building. Pope Reed just might be the special guest we've been alluding to. Pope Reed the First, father of all sports. For
There
a
you
chance
go.
to meet me in person, come to the volleyball game tomorrow night. I just might bless you. Before we move on from this segment, throughout this entire first opening section of Sports Pack this semester, we're talking about the same few sports. Football, volleyball, and soccer, because those are the main 3 that have been going on at West Georgia so far. We've talked about our golf team some, but that has been the main 3. Well, our former moneymaker is back next week with our women's basketball team in action this Monday, November 3rd, on the road across the country in Eugene, Oregon, taking on the Oregon Ducks. And our men's team will also be in action on Monday at 8 p.m. up in Lincoln, Nebraska, taking on the Cornhuskers basketball team. Now, Schrader, I don't want to focus on those 2 matchups because, I mean, obviously those are money games. Our men's team just lost to Kennesaw State. Kennesaw might be that good, but I can't say I expect us to go in here and beat Nebraska in Lincoln. But in looking at the season as a whole, what do you expect to see from both of our basketball teams?
Improvement. I think last year, especially for the men's team, was very difficult. Didn't finish with a great record at all. It was almost a complete 180 from the year before. But I think this year there's going to be improvement. Maybe not expecting us to be, conference title contenders, but definitely able to win more games than we lose and be a 500 basketball team. But this women's team is what I'm excited to see. The women's team last year was really entertaining. They kept most of their games really close, and they were half decent in conference, and all they have done this offseason is get better. They've reloaded that roster without losing many people at all. I mean, I feel like the only girl we lost was Nari, and
they've brought more people in.
And they've brought more people in.
Long
I
live
think,
KP.
Yeah, I think that this women's team is going to be really good this season. So that's who I would keep my eye on.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the men's team, I can see it being a better year. I think a middle of the pack team is what I want out of this.
Yeah.
Like Schrader alluded to, we're not gonna win the conference, but if we brought in a lot of transfers, heck, we went to Serbia and everything to get some of our transfers.
True.
So I really want to see us just be that middle of the pack team, get some of those upsets in, really see that. And I'm just gonna piggyback off the girls team here. The other day before I worked out, I saw that they were practicing in the back gym while I was stretching. I mean, Coach Joe is absolutely on fire with these girls. She is on them all the time. Even the guys helping with the practice squad, I mean, they're making them look silly sometimes, and she's full on yelling at them because she wants perfection. She wants the best out of her girls, and she did that last year. And I know she's a great coach, so if she's already like this before the season's even started, I mean, they're trying to get the game plan installed. That's what you want going to the start of the season, because maybe we can go out to Oregon and maybe we can make this a close game. I don't know if it's going to be we win this game. If we do, well, then guess what? Our name's even bigger on the map. Simple as that. And Coach Joe's got that fire. The staff, they brought in more people. It's going to be a really good year for the girls.
Yeah, intensity like that from a coach before going to Eugene to play Oregon shows that this coach thinks that we could give Oregon a run for their money, which instills even more confidence.
Keep in mind, she was with Utah's program when they were at the top for women's basketball.
We have a very exciting women's team coming up this year. Like Schrader mentioned earlier, they had a very solid season last year. Every game was super close and competitive, despite being 13-17 overall. Their games were a must-see ticket. Then they were 7-11 in conference play. So we're looking to get over 500 this year, have a winning record in conference play to try to make a run at the at the ASUN Conference Tournament Championship. We're expecting really big things for our women's team. We're expecting improvement from our men's team as well. Now, we're going to go into a quick ad break, but don't touch that dial. So when we get back, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know about this very underrated college football season and reflect on what we've seen so far in this MLB World Series. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Hey y'all, it's Schrader. Now don't go anywhere because you're listening to Sports Pack here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at Playbook Training Camp. Now we throw it down to Joey, who's interviewing head coach Brandon Dyer.
Thanks, JT. I'm here with head coach Brandon Dyer. And Brandon, there have been many reports about starting punter Jackson Voss saying that he peaked in high school. Now, what are your thoughts on how he will perform this semester with the Playbook?
Well, Joey, I have full confidence that Jackson Voss will be a breakout star for the Playbook this season. And you'll find out Fridays at noon only on Wolf Sports Network.
Step right up, folks. It's season 2 of the Playbook, where we're talking everything college basketball and baseball and...
Wait, Jackson. Dude, it's fall. And just like a Playbook, I think we need to call an audible.
Ready. Omaha, hot.
We are talking strictly college football all semester on season 2 of the Playbook, Fridays at noon, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's time for season 2 of the Playbook, and we're talking all things college football, putting together a better sophomore season than Tim Tebow in 2007.
To the listeners and everybody at Wolf Nation, I promise you one thing. You will never see an on-air personality work as hard as I will for season 2 of the Playbook, and we will make this show better than any college football radio show will ever be for season 2 of the Playbook.
Listen as we fulfill this promise, live, every Friday at noon.
This season, everything changes. I'm the only one who came back, and honestly, I might regret it.
Josh Allen might just be the best athlete the NFL has ever seen.
Spencer Strider is an elite closer posing as an ace.
D Rose is the most overrated player of all time.
One vet, all new voices, hot takes, wild debates, and zero chill. Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket debuts this fall, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pre-K student monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. That's thewolfuwg.com/book drive.
Baby, it's college football time. Give me my theme music.
I like that song. I like the stager a lot, to be honest with you. It is about time to change, though, because like I said, Colorado has been struggling recently. But I think it's a good concept. What do you think, Schrader?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I was buying time to have my notes pulled up. I wasn't quite ready. I was.
Look, we just need the father of sports to walk us through this weekend.
And you know what? I'll hold your hand as I do it. I want to start off with what is probably the most underrated matchup of this weekend. And, a lot of people, even though game day is going to be there this weekend, I feel like a lot of people are still sleeping on this matchup. Top 25 matchup in the Big 12 with the 7-1, 17th ranked Cincinnati Cats going on the road to Salt Lake City to take on the 24th ranked team in the nation, the Utah Utes. Now, talking about teams in Utah has been a very touchy subject in this
very earthquaking
on this show as of lately. But I think today we're going to be able to get through it. Schrader, I want to start with you.
Yes.
What are the keys to this matchup for either side?
You know, this is a really fun matchup to look at because if you would have told me that we would see Cincinnati on College game day at the start of this season, I would have said, you're smoking something and it ain't legal, because Cincinnati has been terrible ever since Fickle left, but now they're on the rise. I mean, 7-1, but more impressively, 5-0 in the Big 12. Like, they're in the driver's seat for one of the most difficult conferences to win.
Yep.
And Utah is also playing great football. But I think the big thing here is going to be Cincinnati's pass game. Can Utah's defense stop Sorsby? And the reason I say that is because he currently has a 20 touchdown to 1 interception ratio.
Crazy.
And I'm not good at math at all, but that's a pretty good stat right there.
Yep.
And if Cincinnati can pass the ball against Utah, then I think they're going to have a whole lot of success winning this game, which is at 10:15 p.m.
Ooh.
I won't be tuning in.
I will tell you this much, though, because Schrader, you are right. The key to the game is the Utah defense being able to limit this Cincinnati passing attack. But I don't know if I've seen enough from this Utah defense to just be able to sit back and say they're going to be able to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Utah has been a solid team, but they haven't been the dominant Utah teams that we're used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on the defensive side.
Exactly,
of football.
especially on the defensive side. Offensively, they've been pretty dynamic. Devin Dampier has given them a running ability with the quarterback. He has a pretty good arm. But defensively, they're lacking. They're not what they were in those years past when they were winning the Pac-12 consistently. And I think the Cincinnati offense has everything necessary to kind of expose the deficiencies on that defense, John.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm looking at here is really just what you're saying, Utah's defense. I know John Daly over there, I mean, heck of a name for a heck of a guy, got 9.5 sacks on the season. But at the same time, you kind of look around their stats, you don't see other guys replicating those numbers. And it's not that they can have a really good defense, but you do want more than one guy creating that pressure, and yet their offense does fly around. I mean, you have a running back that's got great yards. You got receivers that move the ball for you. I really like Utah here with their offense. I mean, I think they're gonna shake things up over in Utah, or not shake things up, but still, I think Utah gets it done.
I think Utah guys.
I mean, really for Utah, I mean, their whole game plan has to be stop Sorsby. I mean, he's getting it done through the air and on the ground as well. Really, all of their running backs. I mean, Evan Pryor, I heard he's injured, but I mean, they also have another back who's also putting up identical numbers as Pryor. So I mean, for this Utah team, I mean, like John said, like really everybody said, they just got to stifle up on defense, stop that Cincinnati offense. I mean, this is a real underrated team. I did not know Cincinnati was 7-1. I mean,
They're good.
Yeah,
you think it's Desmond Ritter days?
Yeah,
they've been flying on the radar, and I really feel like this could be the weekend they kind of put the nation on notice.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I'm going with the Bearcats.
This is a 7-1 with a 7-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
They lost week 1 to Nebraska, and that game wasn't a blowout whatsoever. It was a pretty contested game. And Cincinnati being on a 7-game win streak, the one thing that I will point out to aid Utah is it's in Utah. And that place goes crazy on a Saturday night. It's a night game under the lights. And honestly, it could be their homecoming. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but it's that kind of year. And if that is the
what
case.
What homecoming's like in Salt Lake City?
Who knows?
I don't know. Is it exciting?
It was pretty wild.
You
here
might
in
know,
Carrollton.
Richard.
I would say.
You know.
Do you know?
Does the stadium get loud enough to make an earthquake or something?
I know a few people out there. Like I said, I've heard about a lot of the Mormon Cougars and things that go down out there in
But
Utah.
that's BYU.
That is BYU, but I'm just saying the Mormon Cougars, I'm sure, will still be in the building. I mean, like, I know a lot of people from West Georgia that went to UGA's homecoming. Met some people from Spelman at West Georgia's homecoming last weekend. I mean, it's like I'm sure people travel school to school out there. I'm sure a few Mormon Cougars from BYU will make their way to Salt Lake City for this game.
Will you?
If it's homecoming. Will I be in Salt Lake City?
Yeah.
Pope's got a lot of places to be.
I tend to go where I'm needed. You know, wherever they need me to be, I will be. Like I said, I'm not sure if the Pope is more so a Catholic church thing, but I'll go out there and be a figure. Like if, let's say Cincinnati wants to bring me out there like as a distraction to kind of get in the Mormons' heads a little bit, a black Pope in Utah, I'm sure it would work as some kind of
shooting them with holy water from a water gun?
Exactly. Is it going to be water?
Maybe.
Only Lord knows. So, now, big time matchup in the SEC between two top 25 teams looking to regain their footing because this SEC race is still somewhat open. The SEC championship door looks like it might be starting to close with teams like Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss really starting to show that they are the alpha dogs in this conference. But teams like Oklahoma and Tennessee, the two that are matching up this weekend, are still teams that are fighting to maybe squeak in and get one of those last playoff spots. So looking at this matchup, the 6-2 Oklahoma Sooners, 18th team in the nation, going on the road to Rocky Top to take on 6-2 Tennessee, 14th ranked team in the nation. Keyshawn, who do you think has the edge here and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Tennessee. Given the recent QB play of Oklahoma, that offense has not looked consistent as of late. It hasn't looked how it's looked since before the injury. So I mean, then again, it is a Brent Venables defense versus a high-powered Tennessee offense. I mean, is it at Tennessee as well, right? They're gonna have the home field advantage. Yeah, I'm gonna have to lean towards Tennessee with this one. I mean, their recent play has been a lot better than Oklahoma's, and I like to see how John Mateer bounce back. I mean, I know he's had the recent hand injury, but I mean, he's got to get back on point if they plan on pulling out the win in this one.
John?
I mean, you look at this, and Tennessee's overall offense is 510 yards per game, third in the FBS. But then you look at their defense, overall, 401 yards allowed per a game. And honestly, if I'm John Mateer and the Oklahoma Sooners, this is the defense. This is your get-back week. This is the defense you study to absolutely get things restarted over there for Oklahoma. And we know what John Mateer can do. We know he can move side to side, sling the ball, look like your Heisman candidate. But honestly, it's not been the same John Mateer we've seen all season. Now, Tennessee, on the other hand, they're going up against a great defense, but we know their offense is absolutely electric. 510 yards a game. Really going to see a battle of the DBs here, I think, the whole night. And honestly, I think Oklahoma can win it this weekend. It's in Neyland. I think Oklahoma can get it. This is the one defense to me I feel like you can absolutely captivate and really get your team going again.
You see, this is the problem with these youngins. They're just wrong. Because you look at Tennessee and Oklahoma, and yes, it's a Brett Venables defense. I've been saying that for a couple of years whenever we talk about Oklahoma, because that's about all you could have been able to say to compliment them. And this defense is great when they play lackluster offenses, right? They were able to contain Sellers in South Carolina, which hasn't been that great of an offense this season. No. They've been able to stop Auburn's offense, which we know has not been a great offense this year. But when they play good offenses, they struggle. Yes, Mississippi State dropped 34 on them. Even a very lackluster Texas offense dropped 23 on them, and this Tennessee offense might be one of, if not the most explosive in the conference. They consistently put up over 30 points. The only team they haven't done that in their last 5 games was Alabama, but 56 on Kentucky, 34 on Arkansas, 41 on Mississippi State. Like, they've been able to score points, and it's a night game in Rocky Top around Halloween, and we know how that place gets. So I think Tennessee's going to win this game, and I think it could be a big win.
I think so as well, Schrader, because like you're saying, Oklahoma's defense has struggled against these high-powered offenses, and since John Mateer's injury, well, even before the injury, the offense really just ran on how well John Mateer was performing. Because they've lacked a running game all season. The receivers have been solid, but haven't really taken that next step. And then now that he really hasn't been 100% since his hand surgery, I'm not really sure what we're going to get from them. I think Tennessee's going to get out of this game with a win because of their high-powered offense, their home field advantage. We might even see Tennessee's defense look decent for the first time this season. Oklahoma might be able to take advantage of their lackluster defense a little bit, but I don't think this game's in doubt. I think Tennessee's going to get this done fairly comfortably, and we're going to have a completely different conversation around this Oklahoma team. Now, before we move on from college football, Schrader, before the show you mentioned how these underrated, quote-unquote here, underrated college football weekends are the ones where we see the biggest upsets. Where do you see an upset potentially happening this upcoming weekend?
When I see a big upset coming in the ACC, and I think that's SMU-Miami for a couple of reasons. One, this SMU team has played pretty good ball. They're coming off of a tough loss against Wake Forest, who has proved to be a far better team than they have been in years past. They're a very solid team. But this is Miami's first game outside of the state of Florida, which it's going to be November. That's unreal. It's their first game outside of the state of Florida. We saw them struggle against a Louisville team. In fact, lose that game. And this is going to be a hostile environment. SMU, they get rowdy over there. They're a super, super strong, loyal fan base. I think SMU is going to be able to take Miami down.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be a very intriguing game. Miami has been struggling over the past few weeks. And like you said, when a team's been struggling like this, it's really the last time you really want to get up and go on the road, especially for their first real deal road test, leaving the state of Florida for the first time this season, and then going out to Texas to take on SMU. It's going to be a pretty good game. John, a lot of people are trying to say that this Georgia-Florida matchup could be the perfect situation for a big-time upset for the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Billy Napier, their head coach, just got fired going into the bye week. Now coming off a bye, they have a game against probably their biggest rival, the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs, who are currently sitting at 6-1, trying to make a big-time push for the SEC championship game. Do you think the Dogs slip up here against the Gators?
For the world's largest cocktail party, I say no. Because the one thing that Coach Smart talked about, I was listening to a couple of his press conferences this week. He said, he respected Billy Napier. He loved what he did. But he was telling them to the press that just because, that guy got fired there, we're not focused on that. We're focused on us. We got to get ourselves prepared for this week because you can tell the team, they fired their coach. They're going to do this. But Coach Smart is going to be able to tell those guys, it doesn't matter who's coaching over there. Next thing you know, this next coach come in, absolutely whoop us up. I mean, they got Steve Spurrier's son in there helping DJ Lagway for quarterback right now, or for quarterback coach, and you never know what they can do. I mean, Steve Spurrier is a legendary name within the SEC. You never know what magic they can pull out. But for right now, and we've had the bye week, had the rest, I can see it being competitive, but I don't see it being that worrisome other than the fact that you do have the tail behind of, coaches being fired.
Yeah, I want to give 2 quick little nuggets of wisdom going into this game. One, yes, Napier did a half-decent job at Florida. I don't even know if I would call it that. He was lukewarm at best.
It was solid.
But
500 maybe?
Well, I wouldn't say solid. I'd say mid. But
yeah, it was all right. But this Florida roster undoubtedly is very talented. They have an outstanding defense, and now they don't have Napier calling the plays on the offensive side of the ball. So you're not necessarily – it's a tough to prepare for a team like Florida because it's their first game without a coach, which means that scheme might change.
Absolutely.
They're not the same football team. It's a completely different one. So Kirby Smart saying, we have to prepare. It's tough to prepare. But the other thing is 11 of Georgia's last 12 Power 4 games, they have either been losing at the end of the half or tied. There's only been one game at the end of the half against a Power 4 opponent in the last 12 games that Georgia has led at halftime, which against a defense like this Florida Gators team might cause you to worry because I don't know when his little halftime adjustment magic is going to end. But this is a team that could happen against.
What was the last game that we were at the lead?
I have no idea.
That's a good question. The fact that we don't know off top is the entire thing here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Now, Keyshawn, I do have one question for you because when I think of upsets this weekend, we talked about the Georgia game. We talked about Miami going on the road to SMU. There's another game I'm looking at here. A game in the Big Ten a lot of people really aren't talking about, and that's for good reason. It's the second-ranked team in the nation, the Indiana Hoosiers, going on the road to College Park, Maryland, to take on the 4-3 Maryland Terrapins. And Maryland's on a 3-game losing streak here, coming off a loss to a red-hot UCLA team. Well, they had a bye week before this Indiana game. A lot of people were trying to call out Indiana and say UCLA was going to be the team they slipped up against, but they went and handled business against UCLA. I know how good Indiana is, but Maryland is very talented. Freshman quarterback Malik Washington is a dog, over 1,700 passing yards, 11 touchdowns compared to only 3 interceptions this year, 6'5", 230 pounds. He's a dog from the state of Maryland. And this is a very talented offense. They started off really hot. Like I said, we're on a 3-game losing streak before their bye week. But now they've had a week off, time to get healthy, game plan, and put everything they have into this game against this 8-0 Hoosiers team that no matter what Kirk Cignetti says, is extremely confident and I think could be possibly overlooking a very underrated Maryland team.
They shouldn't overlook because this is a high-powered offense. I mean, like you said, that quarterback, he's a dog, and then him with the receiver Jalil Farouk, I mean, they've been putting up numbers all season, right? I mean, despite the 3-game losing streak, I mean, they've pretty much been good offensively, and then hopefully this number 2 Indiana team doesn't come in and just think that they can lay their jerseys out on the floor and be over. Much like this Georgia team against Florida, I mean, they don't really kind of know what they're going to get. This is a whole new week. Things could change. You never know what you're going to get with this high-powered offense. I mean, offensively for Maryland, I mean, that quarterback, he's going to have to get in the groove. Jalil Farouk and all the other receivers are going to have to all come on one page and kind of collectively battle against this 8-0 Indiana team because, I mean, this Kirk Cignetti team, this is a hard team to face against. I mean, they pretty much surprised everybody. Nobody kind of expected them to rise up to this factor. So, I mean, this is going to be a tough game for Maryland. If they can pull out the upset, maybe not. I don't really think it could happen. I'm going to lean towards Cincinnati with this one just off the strength of the team. But, for Maryland, that's really what they have to do.
I think Indiana most likely gets it done as well, but if I had to pick one game for an upset, I'm looking at this one. I feel like it might be the perfect storm for it. I think Indiana's going to win it, but I do think it's possible. Maybe slightly put them on upset alert, not like sounding the sirens, sounding the alarms. I think Indiana's going to do it. I believe in this team, especially after the fact they already did it last year very convincingly. But I just say watch out. Maryland might make it interesting in the first half. Who knows what that bye week could do for the Terrapins. But there's another big-time series going on. A lot of people have been watching recently, and it has been very, very entertaining, John. The World Series has been must-see TV.
Tell the kids about it,
I've watched
Richard.
every single game this series. The Toronto Blue Jays are currently up 3-2 against the LA Dodgers, the overwhelming favorites going into this series. It has been incredible. Every single game from game 4, that was 18 innings showdown. It was incredible. I went to sleep in like the 15th. I couldn't make it through the whole thing, but it was an incredible game nonetheless. Old man Schrader, what have you thought of this series, and what do you expect moving forward?
This has been an outstanding series. Nowhere near what I thought it would be. You know, we looked at this series before it started, and we basically said, I think Toronto's going to steal a game, and then the Dodgers are going to handle business. But it has been everything but that, because the Toronto Blue Jays at home played great. The one thing they've been able to do all series is score runs, and their pitching staff has been incredible. But then they go to L.A., one of the hardest postseason venues in baseball to play, and they outscored the Dodgers 17-9 with two games where they scored 6 and gave up 2 or less. I mean, this Blue Jays team played outstanding in L.A., and now they're back home with a shot to win the World Series.
Crazy. At home.
Unbelievable. I think tonight the Toronto Blue Jays will be hoisting that trophy, and I think baseball, I think we're going to hit the offseason.
It will be tomorrow night.
Yes. Tomorrow night?
Yes.
Tomorrow night.
Do you agree? Do you think the Toronto Blue Jays hoist the World Series trophy tomorrow night?
Halloween.
Look, I know we all picked the Dodgers here originally. Like Schrader said, we thought they were just going to do their thing. But it's been fun to see this. I mean, there's a guy named Trey Yesavage, started the year off in Single A. Then
unreal.
Then got the starting job for the World Series. Has been an absolute dog. I mean, last night he threw 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. Has more strikeouts in the postseason than regular season. Honestly, I think the Blue Jays could do it. They're riding that hype. They're riding that hype. They got the momentum with them. Why not go win in Toronto? I mean, this is the first time ever in MLB history where the season started outside the United States and ends outside the United States. It's a different type of year. Why not Toronto go win it?
Yeah, I mean,
what's Drake going to drop?
Man, if the Blue Jays win this and Drake drops a mixtape, just like how he did when the Raptors won in 2019, we got classics like Money in the Grave from that. The streets need it. We need it.
Yeah, Halloween. I'm just going to say it. Halloween 2025. It's going to be
lot
Toronto.
going on.
I'm gonna have
it's going to be a big deal.
Oh, it's going to be a great this Halloween week's already been great. Keyshawn just said he's going to have a great weekend. What kind of stuff you can do this weekend?
Hey, man, I'm going to be a little bit irresponsible here and there.
Can't
but
disclose too much.
You go watch the World
there
Series?
You go. Maybe.
It'll be on the TV.
The answer was yes. I gave him a layup. The answer was yes.
If I'm able to, yeah.
The answer was supposed to be yes, but let me change the question for you. Do you think Toronto gets it done tomorrow night?
Look, maybe. I'm not a big baseball guy, right? This is my first time really dodging here.
Dodging. Been dodging baseball.
Yeah, this is my first time really diving into baseball. I'm kind of filling everything out, getting to know the players and the teams, and honestly, this has been a fun kind of first entry for me. I mean, I've watched every game of the World Series up to now. I mean, Yamamoto, he's a crazy pitcher. Didn't know who he was. I know who he is now.
I want to say Yamamoto is pitching tomorrow night, too.
Yeah, really?
Yes, he is. They're going to need him.
So, yeah, they are. I mean, hopefully he has another complete game in. I mean, throwing a complete game is kind of crazy. If not a complete game, maybe 7 or 8. But, yeah, I mean, do I think the Blue Jays could bring it out? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully. Hopefully the Dodgers can, because that's who I bet on to win. So, I mean, I'm looking for the Dodgers to get this one out.
Yeah, and the Dodgers bullpen is absolutely depleted from basically 2-for-1 game that we got a few nights ago. So keep that in mind, because that's been a huge factor in why Toronto has been able to score so many runs.
I got the Blue Jays. I don't know if they're going to get it done tomorrow night. The Dodgers might find a way to push it to a Game 7.
Oh,
but
that'd be beautiful.
But either tomorrow night or Saturday night, I got the Toronto Blue Jays winning this thing. Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette, and the guys hoisting up the World Series trophy. And prayerfully, I wore my Pope costume for a reason. Prayerfully, Drake will drop a mixtape just like how he did when the Toronto Raptors won it all those years ago, back in the 2010s. Now, we're going to take a quick ad break, but do not go anywhere because when we return, we're going to walk through this NFL weekend, talk about some potential trades that could happen over these next 2 weeks before the deadline, and make our Thursday night football picks. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network. Stay locked. You're listening to Sports Pack right here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Ian's freestyle went big. But we're going to go bigger.
Dang, it's my first season. I feel like a star. I be dropping hot takes. I speak real bizarre. How many views we gonna get? I'd say about 1 mil. Out of Pocket Season 6. We got zero chill. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome to the Boring Sports Show, where we only bring the most boring sports takes.
Who are you? I am Hot Takes Man, and I defend the world from boring sports shows like yours. Another day's work for Hot Takes Man. Citizen, if you want to save yourself from boring sports content, then tune in to Sports Out of Pocket, Wednesdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome aboard to Sports Out of Pocket Airlines, your nonstop flight to the highs and lows of the sports world. This is your Captain Jackson Vole speaking, and this is Flight Path, where we chart every climb and dive. Teams taking off to championship skies and players hitting unexpected turbulence. Buckle up, sports fans, and fasten those seatbelts, because when the whistle blows, we're cleared for takeoff. Listen to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Join Wolf Sports Network as we present our 4th tailgate of the season on October 25th.
Breaking down the game between the Central Arkansas Bears and your West Georgia Wolves.
And other matchups from across the college football world.
The action starts at noon, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Tailgate sponsored by Campus Services and Westwood Apartments. Campus Services, from dining, parking, IDs, or mail, visit the Momentum Center, Westwood's Apartments. 100% student living, flat rate utilities, no hidden fees.
You heard the man. Shout out Westwood's Apartments for supporting us over here at Wolf Sports Network. You can also show us support by going to our merch store. Visit wolfsportsnetwork.com, click the About button, and then press Merch Store right underneath staff. And with that, you will be able to see all the amazing merch items we have from Wolf Sports Network polos. You can look just like us when we do live events. Sweatshirts, sweatpants, hoodies, hats, beanies, draws, anything you could want is available in the merch store.
Even a jersey.
And even a jersey. And if you see something that's not on there that you want to say Wolf Sports Network across the front of it, follow us on Instagram at Wolf Sports Network and then DM us your request, and we just might get it in there for you. But right now, we got to talk some NFL.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
The NFL season is really starting to heat up. MVP favorites are starting to show themselves, with guys like Jonathan Taylor finally getting the attention he deserves.
He's my MVP.
Mine too right now. He's on my fantasy team, and he has been saving my butt week in and week out. And while we're on the topic of the Colts, they have a pretty intriguing 1 p.m. game on CBS. I think they're going to start flexing a lot of the Colts matchups so we can start getting them on the national spotlight because how good they've been playing. And this is their chance to do just that and get one of these primetime games. 7-1 Colts going on the road to Pittsburgh to take on Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, who are coming off a very significant loss to the Green Bay Packers. Schrader, I want to start with you. In this matchup, do you think the Colts have what it takes to get to 8-1, or will their winning streak come to an end in Pittsburgh?
I really like this Colts team to make it to 8-1 this week. One, because Pittsburgh's kind of fallen backwards a little bit. They're stumbling over themselves. A 2-game losing streak, with one of those being against a depleted Cincinnati team. I mean, they let Flacco have another legacy game. I don't know how he keeps doing that. But this Colts team on a 4-game win streak, they've been playing out of their minds. And by the end of this game, Jonathan Taylor very well could hit 1,000 rushing yards on the season, which is unreal for, what are we, week 10? That's 100 yards a game at the minimum, and he could surpass even 1,000 yards in this game. Their pass game's amazing. We already know what their run game can do. They have an outstanding defense. I mean, you can't compliment the Colts enough, especially, you could question them when it comes to experience in the postseason, but this ain't the postseason. I think they walk into Pittsburgh. I think they handle business, and Indiana Jones walks out of there victorious.
I will say, the Colts, they've been playing amazing. They surprised everyone. But the one thing that we do know is Steelers have a really solid defense. They always do. And if I'm, the Colts, don't change the things you've been doing. Stick with the same game plan. That's one thing we've talked about, I think, hundreds of times here on the show from this year, last year, whenever, years before. There's teams that come in and you see a game like this, and they'll change almost everything, and it puts them 2 steps backward while being 1 foot forward. Stick to your original game plan. Run the ball, sling the ball downfield, do what you got to do. Heck, the Colts have a great defense, so they're going to be able to do the same thing on the other side of the ball. Just don't change up the things that's made you get to this point.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Like John said, keep the main thing, keep everything the same. This offense has been efficient, it's been balanced. They've put up at least 30 points a game.
Seems like it.
Yeah, a large part of that has to do with Jonathan Taylor. He's, like Schrader said, he could very much touch 1,000 yards after this game. And, this Steelers team, they've been on a 2-game losing streak. And, this Indianapolis Colts team has put up 30 points a game. And the last 2 losses for the Steelers they've allowed 30-plus points a game. So, this Steelers team, they're going to have to show up and be ready to tackle Jonathan Taylor because, how I feel, their Colts are going to go into the game, they're going to be handing the ball off. They're going to keep doing the same thing they've been doing, getting them to this point. It's going to be a tough one for the Steelers. I got the Colts pulling out this one.
Yeah, and I just wanted to throw out a fun little, DeForest Buckner is
still there.
With sacks, and he's still there. So,
he's a dog, too.
Do
he's
what you
having
want
a very
with that.
solid season. I think this game's going to be very interesting because a lot of people are going to start tuning into the Colts because the Jonathan Taylor hype has gotten to the point that it needs to be at. But I don't think this is going to be a Jonathan Taylor game. John, you just mentioned the Steelers' defense. They've been very solid across the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
But their secondary has been very questionable. Last week's game, Jordan Love diced them up, went 29 for 37, 360 passing yards, 9 yards per pass, 3 total touchdowns through the air. Almost a perfect passer rating. Daniel Jones has been having a darn good season as well. I think a lot of people are going to look into this thinking it's going to be the Jonathan Taylor game. I think the Steelers' defense is going to stack the box and limit him and force Daniel Jones to beat them with his arm, which he is very capable of doing.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at that offense, it's not just Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones. They have Michael Pittman Jr., one of the best 50-50 ball receivers in all of football. Josh Downs, one of the best slot receivers in all of football. And then Alec Pierce, one of the best deep ball receivers in all of football. Then at the tight end position,
there we go.
You have Tyler Warren, rookie tight end out of Penn State, who is already arguably a top 10 tight end in all of football. When you look at last week's matchup against the Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers gave up 7 catches for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns to tight end Tucker Kraft. I think this game is the Colts to lose. It's going to be an entertaining game because Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are going to do their best to win it, to stop this 2-game win streak. But I think it stretches out to 3 because we're going to see that Indiana Jones is one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Anything to add? Anybody else got anything?
Good job, son.
I'm letting the Pope do his thing, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Before we move on from the NFL, well, we're not moving on from the NFL. We're going to end off with the NFL. There's another big matchup in the AFC. We just talked about the Colts and the Steelers. But you also have the Chiefs and the Bills, the matchup that has been the classic matchup over the past few years. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are currently 5-3. They're rolling. The Bills are 5-2, but that offense hasn't been as potent as people remember. Don't let last week be deceiving. The run game has been incredible, but their passing attack has been a little lackluster. Up to this point, the Bills haven't had a receiver really step up. They drafted Keon Coleman a few years ago. He hasn't really lived up to the hype as of lately. Thus far through his career. Who else do they have on there? Khalil Shakir hasn't been that wide receiver one.
Nope.
Dalton Kincaid hasn't been the big tight end that can step up like a George Kittle and really be that go-to guy. So, John, matter of fact, Keyshawn, when you're facing a Chiefs team like this that's getting healthy at the right time, defense led by Steve Spagnuolo as always, offense is getting better and better. Week after week, the healthier they get, the better they've been producing. Do you think the Bills have a chance here?
Absolutely, they have a chance. I mean, they have the MVP on their team. I mean, this is going to be a classic game. Bills versus Chiefs. I mean, honestly, I wish this was a Super Bowl matchup. These are honestly arguably the best two teams in the league right now, despite the records. But, I mean, for the Bills to come in and play this Chiefs teams who we know are currently building back up, they're getting their roster back, they're kind of catching their fire. I mean, they got to come in hot. I mean, DB's got to be ready because Rashee Rice, good.
He's got speed.
Yeah, good wide receiver one. He's not the only one who got speed. They got Marquise Brown. Can't forget about the old reliable Xavier Worthy. Yeah, then you got old reliable Travis Kelce. We know who Pat Mahomes is. So I mean, not even to mention the running back that you like. So yeah, I mean that offense is kind of loaded now. They're getting back right. I mean that Bills team, their hands are going to be full. So
it's just when I'm looking at this matchup, this Bills team, they have been solid, but it all runs on James Cook. Last week against the Panthers, 19 carries, 216 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Over 150 in the first half.
Exactly. James Cook has been incredible. But you don't think the Chiefs know that? The Chiefs know that they have to get James Cook going to unlock these weapons that have not been able to really make things happen for themselves. So if I'm the Chiefs, John, I'm just going to stack the box and force those receivers to step up and get open for Josh Allen. Because up until this point this season, they have not been able to do that.
No, they really haven't been. But there's one thing that creeps in my mind. In the regular season, Patrick Mahomes is 1-4 against the Bills and Josh Allen. Now, if you go to the playoffs, it's undefeated. You can say it goes many other ways. But there's just something that always ends up happening to where the Chiefs lose in the regular season. And I know I say I don't pick against Patrick Mahomes. He's like, you don't pick against Tom Brady, you don't pick against Patrick Mahomes. And I've learned my lesson. But this is one of those weeks where I feel like I can pick against Patrick Mahomes because I feel like they'll find something. There's going to be a breakout in somewhere in that game other than the run game because James Cook has absolutely earned every bit of that contract he has right now. I about to say I can see the Bills winning this. Do I really want them to because I don't want to pick against Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, but guess what? We're going Bills this weekend.
I love how this young buck just said that he's learned his lesson and then proceeds to not learn his lesson. Kids these days. But I love this matchup, and I love how you brought up the regular season versus the postseason success. I wasn't expecting the Pope to stand up while I was talking. But I think that this little bit of history is going to flip. And I'm not picking against Pat Mahomes. One, because it's not just Pat Mahomes anymore. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. Yep. They're much more than just the quarterback. Sure, he gets all the spotlight, but it seems like Richard might be the only guy talking about this defense. We've heard about Rashee Rice. We've heard about Xavier Worthy. We've heard about Travis Kelce. We've heard about this offense, but nobody's talking about this defense, which is really what's been winning these games, especially if you look at last week. And so I'm going with the Chiefs here. I think they're going to walk into Buffalo, and they're going to get that rare regular season win against Josh Allen.
I agree with you 100%. I think the Chiefs get it done. I feel like the Bills are going to make this a game, as always. They're super talented. James Cook, Josh Allen, two of the best players in all of football. James Cook is second in the league in rushing yards, right behind Jonathan Taylor by about 80 yards, showing how good of a season Jonathan Taylor's having. But Josh Allen and James Cook, they're always going to make it a very competitive game for the Bills. It's just this Chiefs team, man. They're getting it all together at the right time. The receiver core looks great. I think we're going to see a big-time game from Rashee Rice as he's really starting to get more and more comfortable week in and week out. Last week, they really expanded his route tree from the first game. First game was really just a red zone target. Last week, they started to expand the route tree. I think it gets done even more against a very talented Buffalo secondary. Got the Chiefs winning it. It's going to be a good game nonetheless because it's always a good game when these two teams match up. But I think they get it done. Now, I want to jump right into our Thursday Night Football matchup for this weekend because I think it's a very intriguing one. John, before we preview it, please remind the people of our policy.
Yes, I will, Pope.
Sports Pack and Wolf Sports Network are not liable for any financial losses that may occur due to using our picks outside of the show. These are just our opinions. Don't blame us. Blame the players. Before we do that, though, John, I must remind you, I will not tolerate that level of disrespect.
Oh,
You don't address me as Pope.
I'm so sorry, Pope Reed. I am so sorry.
I am Pope Reed the first.
What fantasy players do you want?
Pope Reed the first, father of all sports. Don't forget it.
He has Kyle Pitts.
Get it, Grady. I'm not giving you Kyle Pitts. But this Thursday night football matchup, very intriguing. 2 2-win teams in the NFL. But it's still going to be an interesting game to watch. The Baltimore Ravens, currently sitting at 2-5, going into Hard Rock Stadium to take on the 2-6 Miami Dolphins, who are coming off of a very impressive win against the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let that win fool you. This is still not a good football team. They just so happen to face the most inconsistent team in all of football.
Yep.
But I digress. The Baltimore Ravens are getting healthy. Their defense has finally come around over the past few weeks, holding a very talented LA Rams team to only 17 points. Then they had a very impressive win last week against what was a surging Chicago Bears team, beating them 30-16, limiting their offense as well. And now, ahead of this matchup in Miami, it's looking like Lamar Jackson will be playing for the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe these guys are getting healthy at the right time. Do the Ravens have a postseason push in them, Schrader?
Maybe. I mean, I know we talked about how the Steelers had the division to lose, but the Steelers are kind of reeling. So I think the AFC North might just be one of those divisions where you can win it and not be the greatest football team. It all depends on how Baltimore can recover, especially with Lamar Jackson at the helm. But I'm going to go into, I guess, predicting the game is kind of what you wanted me to get to. But my Miami Dolphins, man, what an impressive win against the Falcons. I know you say, it's one of the most inconsistent teams in football, which is completely true.
It is.
But this was a dominating performance. I mean, we were able to suffocate the Falcons' offense, and we were able to do whatever we wanted on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we ran the ball all the time and then just opened up the pass game for Tua. And I think that could be a win that can either go two ways. One, it could be a fluke, or it could be a win that is a good reset. And I think that's what this is going to be. And I'm going to pick my Dolphins to win tonight in prime time. I think Lamar's going to be a little rusty after being out for a couple of weeks. It might be slow in the first half. I think the Dolphins are going to be able to put up some points in the first half and then hold the Ravens' comeback effort in the second half and get a nice close dub.
I love your optimism.
Me too.
I'm going to have to go with the Ravens with this one. I mean, they're getting their guy back. Like you said, they're getting healthy at the right time. They needed this, honestly. And this, honestly, is the perfect time. I mean, they still have enough time to make a playoff push. I mean, they're what are they, at 2-5 right now?
Yep.
Yeah, 2-5, still have a lot of games left throughout the season. I mean, this is kind of what they wanted, right? With Lamar Jackson coming back, he's coming back against a slow Miami team. You know, it's a 2-5, 2-6 Dolphins team. I mean, this is honestly a tune-up game for him, at least. I still think that the Ravens still have enough star power to come out with the win despite their lackluster defense. But, you know, they're getting their leader back. That locker room is getting back right now. Everybody's kind of coming back together. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Ravens with this one.
Now, before I get into my pick, there was word floating around last night that there's some way Grady Hamilton can get Kyle Pitts. There is some way. A little rumor floating around the Vatican. All right,
that rumor will be addressed on Monday's episode of Sports Pack. Today, we will have no official statement coming out of Vatican City. Right now, we are celebrating. I have duties to attend to this weekend. Many things to get done. But on Monday's episode of Sports Pack, I will address the rumors about me, Grady, and Kyle Pitts. That is all.
Anyways, I think it's great for the Ravens to have Lamar back. I know he's been absolutely hungry to get back on the field from injury. I think it's the spark they need. When you have Lamar back on the field, it opens up their offense completely. You know what Lamar can do. Look, Captain America, as some people have called him before.
You.
Yeah, I didn't know. I called him something else a couple of years ago. But you know, having Lamar come back and then Todd Monken really open up that offensive playbook back to him really helps them. So I honestly have the Ravens tonight. I can see the momentum behind the Dolphins, but I think this is the right time for the Ravens to get absolutely right tonight.
I agree with you 100%. This is their opportunity. They're healthy. The defense is looking the best it's looked all season. Kind of like last year. They started off very slow, not as slow as they did this year, but they started off slower than usual. But now it seems they have gotten their swagger back over the past few weeks. And now, LaMarvelous, Action Jackson, is returning to under center for this team. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be the perfect storm. It might start off a little slow, like Schrader mentioned earlier, because Lamar has missed so many games. But it's kind of like riding a bike for a guy that talented.
Yeah.
Lamar's going to be good. He's going to get back in there and behind the driver's seat and unlock this Ravens offense. The same potent Ravens offense that we saw towards the beginning of the season when they put up video game numbers against the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns and the other teams that they faced. I think this Ravens team is back, and they're going to make a big-time push for the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Don't know if they're going to win this division or not. They always somewhat struggle with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I'm not sure why. They always seem to split it. But I do think they can still win this division and be a playoff team looking to make a Super Bowl push as this season progresses. Do not sell your Raven stock just yet. I say now is the best time to place bets on this team. I believe in Baltimore. Now, that's all the time we have for Sports Pack tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in to our Halloween Eve special. You know, we kept it kind of tame with the costumes. Some of us went a little harder than others. I think Keyshawn won Costume of the Night for us at Sports Pack. But that's just mine.
Schrader doesn't agree.
That's just my humble opinion. But I'm not going to explain that joke. But like I said, it's all the time.
You get it if you get it.
Nah,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. You can put the camera on Schrader real quick, then show Keyshawn just to maybe they'll understand that then. But anyway, like I said, that's all the time we have for Sports Pack tonight. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Be safe out there. Have a very happy Halloween, and we'll see you right back here on Monday, same bat time, same bat channel, for a very special Monday edition of Sports Pack. Like I said, you all have a blessed one and happy Halloween.